are going to have a brief introduction into using the Google Chrome Developer Console or Chrome DevTools. It's a really useful tool for debugging, particularly for JavaScript, and also comes in handy for evaluating HTML and CSS and other sources in your web application. So to start, you can open up Chrome DevTools by hitting the F12 key or Control-Shift-I, and right away you'll see the console pop up here. If you want to change the positioning of the console, you can click on these three little dots here on the side and choose any of these dockside options. And you can see by default it lands here on this Elements tab. So under this Elements tab, it is showing the HTML for this page. By default, the HTML is not all expanded, but if you are evaluating a certain element on the page, let's just say you want to look at the HTML up here. So right click, hit inspect, and automatically it's going to expand and jump to the element that you chose. Now, aside from just looking at what the HTML is on the page, you can also change it here on the fly. So this can come in handy. Like for example, we use the Bootstrap framework in a lot of our applications. It comes with its own built-in classes, and sometimes you're going to want to change and manipulate those classes to achieve a certain look or style. So you can do that easily right here by double-clicking. And this column large 2, this is one of those built-in Bootstrap classes. And let's say I want to make this drop-down box wider than the rest of them for some reason. Change that 2 to a 3, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to change it back. So this allows you to kind of make these changes quickly right here to see what they look like without having to go into the code and change it there and refresh the page. So another useful thing we can do here is look at and change the CSS in the page. So for example, let's take a look at this save button up here. I'm going to right click it, I'm going to inspect it. It's going to jump right down to that save button in the HTML. And then if we look off here to the side, it is also showing the the CSS styles applied to that button. So right here, this is our button. And if we want to see what it looks like with different styles removed or applied, we can uncheck that color and see that it changes the text color. Maybe you want to try a different background color. You can just click in here, type whatever color you'd like to see. You can also add another style. So maybe we want to make the font a little bit bolder there. And there you go. So again, this is handy for making those quick changes just to see what something is going to look like without having to refresh your code a bunch of times. Okay, moving on from the Elements tab, let's jump over to this Console tab here. So this Console tab is very important. This is where you're going to see messages, errors, warnings, information related to your code. So obviously, as you are debugging, you're going to be wanting to check this console regularly, or if you are running into an issue and you're not sure why this isn't working, like you should come and check in the console because this is going to indicate errors occurring. Also, if you have written any console.log statements in your code, the results of that should show up here in this console.